Hi, this is Dr. Mapakshi at Wellness MD Care. Today I'd like to talk about some tips for maintaining a healthy gut microbiome. So let's first talk about what gut microbiome is. So there are over 100 trillion microorganisms in the intestines within the human body. So these collective community that exists within you is what we call the gut microbiome. Now the second question, why is it important? So the gut microbiome is very important for your overall health. So these little organisms in your gut do a lot of functions. They help with digestion. They produce some vitamins. They help avoid what we call leaky gut, which is like basically inflammation in the gut, which causes undigested protein to enter into your bloodstream, which then can also trigger, food sensitivities, autoimmune conditions if it is uncontrolled. So the bacteria actually produce substances that minimize this inflammation within the gut. They are also very important for reducing anxiety, depression, because they produce a lot of neurotransmitters and important for brain health as well. Your gut microbiome not only determines your overall health, but they also impact how a person reacts to treatment. So let's say a patient has medical issues and they're getting treatment. Your gut microbiome can determine how you respond to treatment, how well you do with treatment, and your overall quality of life too. So for example, there have been studies looking at gut microbiome in patients who are on cancer chemotherapy. And they found that having some good bacteria in the gut actually made the patients respond better to chemotherapy and do overall well as well. So it's really important as to what kind of bacteria is in the gut as well to determine not just health, but also how we respond to everyday stressors, how we respond to treatment as well. So now I want to talk about what are the things to do to keep this gut microbiome healthy and what are the things that can damage the gut microbiome. So we all know that antibiotics can, when we take it for an infection, will help with the infection, but it will also have an impact on the gut microbiome. So you want to minimize the antibiotics and take it only when it's absolutely necessary. That is the reason we stress upon not using antibiotics as the first go-to whenever you get sick. That's one. The second thing is processed foods. Processed foods have a lot of preservatives in them. So preservatives are substances that prevent microbial growth. So what it means is it works just like antibiotics and can harm the gut microbiome. So avoiding processed foods would be very helpful in damaging the gut microbiome, and also avoiding foods that are very high in sugars because that will select the bad kind of bacteria to grow in the gut. For example, let's take some artificial sweeteners like sucralose. So these are sugar alcohols and they are broken down in the gut. They can select a bad type of bacteria which causes more bloating, distension, abdominal discomfort, and stuff like that. The second thing is avoid too much red meat. So it also causes bad bacteria to overgrow, and the good bacteria will not survive when there is an imbalance between the two. Things that would help maintain this balance is you want to eat a diet that is rich in prebiotics. Prebiotics are substances that the bacteria can use as food. So these are both soluble and insoluble fiber. So when you eat a very fiber-rich diet, including legumes, nuts, seeds, herbs, whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, these are all very high in fiber, and so they feed the bacteria, and so the bacteria do better when you eat a diverse diet. So you want the diversity in the diet to breed a diverse gut microbiome. More diverse your gut microbiome, the healthier you will be. The third thing, for hydration, just stick to water. Any sugary drinks, alcohol, caffeine, all of these have a bad impact on the gut microbiome. So prefer water whenever and wherever you can. Then avoid food sensitivities. So how to avoid foods? And you need to know, if there are certain foods that you're responding to, those can also impact your gut microbiome. So having a food sensitivity testing can definitely be helpful, but not necessary. But that is something to pay attention to when you take all the precautions and you're still having any GI issues. That's something to look at. So I hope all of these steps helps you eat right and eat in such a way that you're able to develop a diverse gut microbiome for a healthy life. I hope this helps. See you soon.